I poured a staggering $500,000 of my life savings into my son's restaurant, hoping for nothing more than family pride and a shared legacy. And when I finally asked about the opening date, his wife replied coldly, "It was a week ago. We only invited our closest family and friends." Am I not his father? Am I not among his closest family and friends? A few days later, she called, shouting into the receiver, "The bills are overdue. Did you transfer the money?" The betrayal hit me like a jagged knife. But I smiled, and you won't believe how I responded. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. The door opened before I could knock. Iris stood there, in head-to-toe designer athletic wear, her iPhone clutched like a weapon. Her eyes landed on the champagne bottle in my right hand, the vintage poster tube under my left arm, and something shifted in her expression. Not warmth, but recognition. Maybe the kind you give a stranger who's lost. Elias, not a greeting, a statement. Behind her, I could see into the open-plan living room, shopping bags clustered by the stairs, at least 6 or 7 of them, logos I recognized even from 15 feet away. Nordstrom sacks, the kind of bags that came with tissue paper and satin ribbon. "Where's Caleb?" I kept my voice light, celebratory. $70 for this champagne. Dom Perignon, the real deal. I wanted to catch him before the restaurant opening. I've been checking my phone for the invitation, but I figured I missed it. Her face had gone carefully blank, the kind of blank that means something. As a documentary filmmaker for 40 years, I knew that look well. I'd filmed it 100 times. It meant, you don't know, do you? "When's the grand opening?" I asked. "I've been waiting for the date. I want to help set up, meet the staff, maybe bring my old film equipment to document the journey." "It was last Tuesday." The words hung there in the damp air. Last Tuesday. I watched her face. No apology, no embarrassment. I'm sorry, what? "The opening, last Tuesday. We kept it small, only the closest people." 6 bags. 7. Maybe. The tissue paper kind that comes with a smile and a credit card warning. I'd paid for a restaurant. Apparently, I'd also paid for a luxury shopping spree. Diversified investment, I suppose. Closest people, I repeated, tasting the bitterness. The champagne bottle grew warm in my hand. "I gave you $500,000. And we're grateful." She leaned against the doorframe, relaxed like we were discussing the weather. "It's our business, Elias. Your money doesn't make you a partner." "Our business? I funded half the startup capital. You gave Caleb money. That doesn't mean you get to show up whenever you want." I set the poster tube against the porch railing. My hands needed something to do besides shake. "I'm his father, and this is Caleb's restaurant. His dream, not yours. I paid for the dream. You wrote a check. That's different." My phone came out, muscle memory. I pulled up Caleb's contact, hit call. Iris watched me, eyebrow raised. Caleb answered on the 4th ring. Kitchen noise behind him, clattering voices. "Dad, I'm kind of in the middle. Your wife just told me the restaurant opened last week." Silence. Then, "Yeah, we meant to call." "Meant to call? I invested $500,000. "Dad, listen, we can talk about this later. I'm slammed right now." "Caleb, I'm standing on your doorstep with champagne." The line went dead. The dial tone hummed in my ear. A professional disconnect. The kind you give telemarketers. My son had just telemarketered me. "You need to leave." Iris's voice had gone cold, sharp. "I'm Caleb's father, and this is Caleb's house. Our house. You're not welcome here right now." "Not welcome. I paid for your dream." "You wrote a check, Elias. That's all. Don't confuse that with having rights." My GoPro. I carried it everywhere. Habit from 40 years of documentary work. You never stop recording. You never know what you'll catch. It came out of my jacket pocket. Small, black, innocent looking. I hit record. "What are you doing?" Iris straightened up. "I'm documenting." I kept my voice level. "That's what I do. You can't film me. Public doorstep, technically, I can." I wasn't sure about the legality, but she didn't move to stop me. Her face flushed. "This is harassment. This is a conversation. You're the one who opened the door." She stepped back. The door started to close. I kept the GoPro running steady in my hand. In the tiny preview screen, I could see past Iris's shoulder. Her iPhone sat on the entrance table, screen up. As I watched, it lit up. A push notification. White text on green background. Even on the small GoPro screen, I could read it clearly. Royal Spin Casino Online. Your $5,000 withdrawal is pending. The door shut. I stood there on the porch, champagne in one hand, camera in the other, staring at the closed door. $5,000 pending withdrawal from an online casino. I looked down at the GoPro, still recording. I smiled for the first time since I had arrived.
Photo after photo. Michelin star restaurants, designer boutiques, spa days, wineries. Each post captioned with inspirational quotes about living your best life and manifesting abundance. It was 2 a.m. Wednesday when I did it, deep in her Instagram archive, 8 months back. A photo of her and Caleb at some charity gala. Black tie, big smiles, caption, "Grateful for the people who believe in our dreams." My thumb slipped. Double tap. Heart icon red. No. I unliked it fast. 3 seconds, maybe? Did notifications work that fast? Did Instagram send an alert even if you unliked immediately? 2 a.m. 76 years old, stalking my daughter-in-law's Instagram. This was my life now. Thursday afternoon, my phone rang. Iris. I stared at her name on the screen for 3 rings before answering. Elias. Her voice was honey, sugary sweet. I'm so glad you picked up. I said nothing. Let the silence sit. I wanted to apologize for Monday. I was stressed and I snapped at you. That wasn't fair. No, I said. It wasn't. The thing is, a pause. I could hear the calculation. We're in a bit of a crisis. The walk-in cooler died last night, completely fried. The repair estimate is $18,000. $18,000? And we've got supplier invoices coming due, $23,000. And the landlord is threatening to terminate the lease if we don't... How much do you need? I kept my voice flat. If you could help us with $50,000, it would... $50,000? I laughed. Couldn't help it. $50,000? This is funny to you? Her sweetness was curdling fast. I'm just appreciating the irony. Monday, I'm not close enough to be invited to the opening. Thursday, I'm close enough to be an ATM. Iris, tell me, what's the exact distance that qualifies as closest people? Is there a measurement? Because I'm trying to figure out where $500,000 falls on that scale. Silence. Then, you invested in this business. Did I? Because investments usually come with paperwork, contracts, partnership agreements. Funny thing, I don't seem to have any of those. If this restaurant fails, you lose everything. Her voice had gone cold again. The honey was gone. That's a threat? That's a fact. You want to be petty about not getting invited to a party? Fine. Watch your investment burn. Watch Caleb lose everything he's worked for, his dream, because you're having hurt feelings. Hurt feelings? I repeated the word slowly. Is that what you think this is? What else would you call it? Pattern recognition. She hung up on me again. Apparently that was a family trait. Now I sat there holding my phone. The screen showed, call ended, 14 minutes, 37 seconds. 14 minutes and 37 seconds of my life I'd never get back. Should have saved that time for something productive, like repeatedly banging my head against a wall. Same net result, more honest pain. I called Noelle. Video call. She answered immediately. Her home office in Vancouver visible behind her. Dad! Her voice came through crystal clear. Tell me what happened. I told her everything. The uninvitation, the confrontation, Iris's call. Noelle's face got tighter with each sentence. I told you, last year, remember? Thanksgiving, you said she had changed. I said she was using you. I said Caleb was letting her. You said I was being paranoid. I looked at my hands. 76 years old, and my daughter had seen what I'd missed. You were right, Noelle. Listen to me. They're not going to stop. They'll take everything you'll give them, and then they'll blame you when it's not enough. Caleb's my son. I know, and I'm your daughter. The one who calls you every week? The one who sent you money when your roof needed repairs? The one who... She stopped, breathed. Sorry, this isn't about me. But it was. It was about all of it. After we hung up, I sat at my desk, her words echoing. They'll take everything you'll give them. I opened a new browser tab, typed Oregon Secretary of State Business Registry, searched. Field and Fork LLC. The page loaded. Oregon Business Registry. Field and Fork LLC. Active. I clicked through. Business type, limited liability company. Registered date, August 15th, 2024. Registered agent, Nathan J. Gardner. Correction, Caleb J. Gardner. Business address, 2847 Southeast Division Street, Portland, 97121. Members listed, 1. Caleb James Gardner. Managing member, Iris Marie Gardner. Managing member. I scrolled down, kept scrolling. Additional members? None. Additional investors? None. Partnership agreements on file? None. My name wasn't there. I'd given them $500,000 in September. The LLC had been registered a month before that, before Caleb came to me, before the "we need your help, Dad" conversation, before the business plan, before the promises about partnership and shared profits. They'd registered the business without me, then asked for my money. I sat back. The chair creaked. Not a mistake, not an oversight. A plan. I opened my desk drawer. At the back, under old lens caps and memory cards, I found what I was looking for. The canceled check. $500,000, paid to the order of Caleb Gardner. Not Field and Fork LLC, not Gardner and Gardner Partnership. Caleb Gardner. Personal check. Personal account. My hand started shaking again, but not from anxiety this time. I pulled out my phone and texted Noelle. You were right about everything. I need your help with something. Her response came 30 seconds later. Anything. What do you need? I looked at the check. The LLC registration. Iris's Instagram feed still open on my laptop. Her latest post from that morning, a photo of the Field and Fork dining room. Golden hour light. Perfectly plated food. Caption, small businesses are built on trust, family, and hard work. Living the dream. Family business. Hashtag gratitude. I smiled. Not a happy smile. The smile I used to get when I found the perfect ending for a documentary, when all the pieces finally clicked into place, when the story revealed itself. I typed back to Noelle. I need you to help me make a film. The text to Noelle still glowed on my phone. I need you to help me make a film. But before I could plan anything, I needed to understand one thing. How did I get here? I closed the laptop, closed my eyes. The memory came back sharp and clear. 8 months ago, late August, Sunday afternoon, the doorbell rang at 2 p.m. Caleb stood on my porch, nervous energy radiating off him like heat. He carried a black leather portfolio under one arm. Dad, he hadn't called me that in years. Can I come in? I made coffee. We sat at the kitchen table. He spread the business plan in front of me. 30 pages, bound, professional looking.
I've been working on this for 2 years, he said. His hands shook slightly. Every detail, menu costs, labor projections, market analysis. The bank approved $300,000, but I need $500,000 more. I'd already read the executive summary. Equipment, build-out, licenses, and operating capital for 6 months. He looked up, met my eyes.
Dad, I know it's a lot, but this isn't just a loan. This is partnership. You'd be an investor, profit sharing, official paperwork, everything legal and clean. I saw something in his face I hadn't seen in years. Hope, excitement. My son, finally passionate about something. $500,000. I had agonized more over buying my Toyota Camry, test drove 3 different models, negotiated for 2 days. But a $500,000 investment in my son's restaurant? Same-day approval, no test drive required. Iris had been quiet, letting Caleb talk. Now she leaned forward, different from the woman who'd shut the door in my face 8 months later. This Iris was warm, engaged. "Elias, you'd be part of our dream," she said. "Not just financially. We want your advice, your experience. You built a production company from nothing." "I understand film," I corrected. "Restaurants are different." "But success principles are the same, right?" She smiled. "Genuine or convincingly fake? I still don't know. We need someone we trust." That got me. Someone who cares. Who else cared more than a father? "The paperwork," I said. "Partnership agreement. I'll need to see." "Next week," Caleb interrupted. "I'm meeting with the business attorney Thursday. You'll be listed as founding partner, 20% ownership." I wrote the check at my desk. My hand didn't shake. I felt good, purposeful. "I can't believe you're doing this," Caleb said from behind me. His voice was thick. "Dad, thank you." I turned, handed him the check. "Partners now." He took it, stared at it. Partners. He hugged me. Quick, tight. He hadn't hugged me in 5 years. "Paperwork by next week?" I asked when he pulled back. "Next week, guaranteed." That was August 23rd. The paperwork never came. Looking back now, I could see it clearly. They never intended to make me a partner. But in that moment, in my kitchen, with my son's arms around me, I believed every word. I opened my eyes. Back in the present, Thursday night, April. The memory tasted bitter. Friday morning, I met Julian at Blend Coffee House on Hawthorne. He arrived 15 minutes late, apologetic. Daughter's soccer game. "Without a written contract," Julian set down his espresso. "Elias, you're screwed." "Tell me something helpful." "Good, that is helpful. It's honest." He picked up the canceled check copy I brought. "You wrote this to Caleb Gardner personally, not to the LLC." "Verbal agreements can be enforceable," I said. "Under Oregon partnership law, yes. But you need to prove you agreed to be partners, contributed capital with expectation of partnership, participate in business decisions. Can you prove any of that?" I thought about it. Text messages, promising updates, a few phone calls, nothing substantial. Not really. "Then legally, this is a gift. Generous. Stupid, but legal. What about the LLC registration?" "It started before he asked me for money." Julian's eyebrows rose. "Is it? August 15th. He came to me August 23rd. That's interesting. Suggests premeditation, but still doesn't give you ownership. $500,000. No contract, no paperwork. I'd spent 40 years making documentaries about financial fraud, and I'd become the world's easiest mark. If I pitched this story to a producer, they'd reject it as unrealistic. So, I sue? I asked. Drag my son into court? That's one option. Long, expensive, ugly, family relationships destroyed forever. Julian watched me. But you're not going to do that. No. Then what? I looked out the cafe window, Hawthorne Boulevard, Sunday afternoon, people walking dogs, living normal lives. I said, you know what I did for 40 years? I documented truth. I showed people who they really were. You're going to make a documentary. I'm going to make them famous. Julian sat back. A slow smile spread across his face. That's either brilliant or insane. Why not both? We talked another hour. He offered to write a demand letter, $500 friendship discount. I declined. He understood. If you're going to do this your way, he said, at least let me review what you create before you show it publicly. Make sure you're not committing libel. Deal. I drove home, went straight to my spare bedroom. The closet held boxes stacked floor to ceiling, camera cases, tripods, lighting equipment, microphones. The last time I used this camera, I was filming the documentary about pension fraud in Milwaukee. The irony wasn't lost on me. I'd interviewed elderly victims who'd trusted family members with their retirement money. Never imagined I'd join their ranks. I set up the Sony FS7 on my desk, connected it to my laptop. The screen glowed. I opened my laptop and created a new folder. Field of Deceit, Documentary Project. Inside, subfolders. Subject interviews, empty. B-roll footage, empty. Financial documents, timeline, empty. Script outline, empty. My phone buzzed. Text from Julian. Serious question. Are you really going to make a documentary about your son? I typed back. Not about my son. About betrayal. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Make sure you can live with the consequences. I looked at the camera, at my reflection in the black lens. 76 years old, gray hair, lines around my eyes from 40 years of squinting through viewfinders. Not broken. I picked up the camera, attached the battery pack. Time to make a documentary, I said out loud. The camera's red recording light blinked on. I started making calls. Portland food critics, a tech-savvy colleague's grandson who knew hidden cameras, my old post-production editor. Halfway through my third call, my email notification chimed from Noelle Sullivan. Subject, I'm coming to Portland. Dad, I booked a flight. Arriving Thursday. We're doing this right. You're not fighting them alone anymore. Also, I have some information about Iris you're going to want to hear. Call me tonight. I stared at the screen. Thursday, 3 days away. Information about Iris. My daughter. My ally. I felt something I hadn't felt in 2 weeks. Hope. Not for reconciliation. Hope for justice. Noelle arrived Thursday afternoon. I picked her up at PDX and we drove straight to my house. She had taken 4 days off work, left her husband with the kids, booked a last-minute flight. Okay, she said in my kitchen, spreading her own file of documents on the table. Before you start your documentary, you need to see this. She pulled out a credit report. Iris Marie Winters. 23 pages. How did you get this? I asked.
Noelle's mouth twitched. I have a friend in banking. Public record search plus skip tracing techniques. Everything here is legally obtained. My architect daughter knows skip tracing. My husband had debt issues before we married. I learned things. She tapped the report. Look at this. Nordstrom card, $23,000 balance. Saks, $18,000. She's maxing out every card. I scanned the pages. Royal Spin Casino. Multiple charges. Online gambling. I marked all gambling-related transactions. 47 in the last 6 months. 47? She has a problem, Dad, a serious problem, and she used your money to feed it. By Friday morning, I had a plan. Phase 1. Document everything. The restaurant had been open 2.5 weeks. Time to become their best customer. Friday night, 6:30 p.m. I walked into Field & Fork. The hostess seated me at a corner table. The waitress approached. Young. Name tag, Kira. Can I start you with something to drink? Coffee, please. Black. I smiled. Friendly old man smile. Restaurant just opened, right? How's it going? Fine. Flat. Practiced. Menu's right there. Friend recommended this place. You like working here? Her eyes slid away. It's a job. Not enthusiastic. Staff morale problem. I made a mental note. My GoPro in the messenger bag by my feet captured everything. The menu was pretentious. Farm to table, seasonal vegetables harvested with intention. I ordered the scallops. 28 hours for 3 scallops. $9 per scallop. The scallops arrived. They were perfect, seared beautifully. Caleb was talented, no question. Too bad his talent came with a side of betrayal. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I came back each day, same section, same waitress, taking notes, using my phone constantly. Monday afternoon, I positioned myself near the bar. Iris's voice carried from the back, phone pressed to her ear. "No, Dennis, you can't do that. We had an agreement." Pause. "I understand you have other clients, but we're talking about $23,000 in product." Longer pause. "Fine. Fine, next week. We'll pay next week. But if you cut us off before then, I will personally make sure every restaurant in Portland knows." She stopped, listened. "That's not a threat. It's a promise." Click. She hung up, stood there a moment, deep breath. Then she smoothed her shirt, smiled, walked back toward the dining room, passed within 3 feet of me, didn't even glance over. I had it all on audio, crystal clear. Tuesday evening, I sat at my usual table. Kira brought water without being asked. "What are you doing here?" I looked up. Iris stood at my table, arms crossed, face flushed. 2 other tables had gone quiet. "Eating dinner," I said calmly. "The scallops are supposed to be. You've been here 4 nights in a row. The food's good. You sit alone, you take notes. Kira says you're always on your phone recording things." I set down the menu, kept my voice level. "I'm a customer. I'm allowed to be here. Not when you're harassing us." "Harassment? I ordered food. I paid. That's called patronage." Her voice rose. "This is stalking. You're obsessed." "About what?" I interrupted. Quieter. Harder. "Tell these nice people what I'm angry about." She stopped. Looked around. The room was listening. "You need to leave." "Now? Or what? You'll call the police? Tell them I'm eating dinner?" "Dad." Caleb's voice from behind her. He'd come out of the kitchen, chef's whites, exhausted. "What are you doing?" "Eating your scallops. Please don't make this harder." "I'm making this harder? I wrote you a check for $500,000. You excluded me from your opening, and now I'm not allowed to buy dinner?" The dining room was silent, every eye on us. Caleb looked at Iris, at me, back to Iris. "Maybe you should go," he said quietly. I stood slowly, put $40 on the table. "Okay, I'll go." I walked past Caleb, stopped at his shoulder, spoke quietly, just for him. "You were 8 years old the first time you made me breakfast. Scrambled eggs, bacon. You burned the bacon, but didn't want to admit it. You served it with orange juice in my favorite mug. You stood there watching me eat, waiting for my reaction. When I said it was perfect, you smiled so big." My voice caught. I remember that smile. Caleb's jaw tightened. His eyes got wet. That boy loved me. I wonder where he went. I walked out. Through the window, I saw Caleb standing there frozen, Iris pulling at his arm. Public humiliation again. At this rate, Caleb would ask me to leave his birthday party. Oh wait, I probably wouldn't be invited to that one either. I sat in my car, hands on the steering wheel, not starting the engine. Stupid, sloppy, obvious. I'd been so focused on gathering evidence, I'd forgotten basic fieldwork. Surveillance 101. Be invisible. I pulled out my phone, texted Noelle. Made a mistake, burned cover. Her reply? "What happened?" "Tell you at home, but I got something good out of it." "What?" Caleb's face when I left. He looked destroyed. 3 dots. Pause. "Dad, do you want revenge or reconciliation?" I looked at my reflection in the rearview mirror. "I'll let you know when I figure it out." Wednesday morning, 10 a.m., I opened my laptop. Inbox 147 unread emails. One caught my eye. From Truth Hurts 2020 at proton.me. Subject: You want to know the truth? Mr. Gardner, you want to know where your money really went? Check Iris's credit history. You'll need her SSN number listed. DOB March 15, 1991. Her laptop MacBook Pro Rose Gold. Password Harvest 2024. She keeps a spreadsheet called Personal Finances Private in Documents. It tracks everything. Every casino deposit, every lie. Royal Spin Casino account username, IrisPDX. $43,000 in debt to them alone. You deserve to know. Caleb deserves to know. You didn't hear this from me. Someone who cares about the truth. I read it 3 times. Someone inside. Someone with access. But who? I screenshotted the email, sent it to Noelle. Got this. What do you think? She video called immediately. Who sent this? No idea. Could be a trap. The password is too specific. Harvest 2024. This is someone close. What are you going to do? I don't know. This crosses a line. What line? Between observation and invasion? She stole your money. And I can prove that without breaking into our computer. Can you? Noelle's voice was gentle. You tried confronting them, they kicked you out. You talked to a lawyer, he said, no case. Someone's handing you evidence, someone anonymous. Maybe their agenda is justice. We hung up. I stared at the email. Harvest 2024. My phone buzzed. Text. Unknown number. Did you get my email? I froze. Typed back. Who is this? 3 dots. Someone who's tired of watching her destroy everything. Check the laptop. She's downloading everything to a USB drive this weekend. After that, the evidence disappears. How do you know that? Because I'm close enough to see everything. Tell me your name. No. Why should I trust you? You shouldn't, but you're desperate, and desperate people take chances. The messages stopped. I waited. Nothing. I looked at my laptop, at the email, at that password. Someone who's tired of watching her destroy everything. Someone close enough to see everything. This was either the best gift I'd ever received or the most elaborate trap. Only one way to find out. Friday morning, May 2nd. I woke up knowing what I had to do. The anonymous email sat in my inbox like a lit fuse. Harvest 4. The laptop password, evidence waiting. But first I needed professional help, the kind that didn't leave fingerprints. I called Lucas Reed at 7 a.m. He answered on the second ring. Former LAPD detective turned private investigator. We'd worked together 7 years ago on a documentary about insurance fraud.
Elias. His voice was gravel and coffee. It's 7 in the morning. Someone better be dead or you better be paying. I'm paying. I need financial forensics, deep background, everything legal. Legal is expensive. Semi-legal's cheaper. Let's start with legal and see where we end up. We met at a coffee shop on Hawthorne. I slid the folder across the table. Bank statements, Instagram screenshots, the LLC filing. I need to know where $500,000 went, I said. My son's restaurant, his wife's spending, something doesn't add up. Lucas flipped through my amateur documentation. This your son? Yeah. And you're investigating him? I'm investigating the truth. If he's clean, great. If not, I shrugged. What if you don't like what I find? Then at least I'll know what I'm dealing with. I pulled out my checkbook. 3 days. Everything you can get legally. Public records, credit reports, pattern analysis. 3 days is expensive. So is $500,000. He smiled. Fair point. I'll need $3,500, half up front. I wrote the check. When do you start? Already did. Been running preliminary searches since you called. Your daughter-in-law has interesting spending habits. How interesting? Nordstrom charges on a Tuesday morning? Interesting. Multiple casino transactions daily? Interesting. He closed the folder. Your money is not all in that restaurant. Prove it. Give me 72 hours. Monday evening, Lucas handed me the bound report, 47 pages. That bad? I asked. Worse. Your daughter-in-law has a shopping addiction and a gambling problem. Started about 18 months ago, escalated after marriage. I opened to the executive summary. $127,000 in debt. My breath caught. Keep reading, Lucas said. Credit card statements, casino transaction logs, loan agreements, each page another nail. Where'd my $500,000 go? Best estimate?
$280 to the restaurant, verifiable through permits and equipment purchases, $150 to paying down her debts. She probably told your son these were business expenses. $70K just gone. Shopping sprees, gambling losses. Caleb doesn't know about her debts. No way! She's keeping 2 sets of books. Business books, he sees. Personal books, he doesn't. Lucas's report had a section titled Subjects Online Activity Analysis. Apparently posted Instagram photos of expensive dinners the same day she made casino deposits. Caption, treating myself, self-care, living my best life. Yeah, with my $500,000. Very self-care. Much fraud. Tuesday morning, Portland Farmers Market on S.E. Yamhill. I showed up at 9 a.m. with a shopping bag. Browsed produce stands, waited. Caleb arrived at 9:37, looking exhausted, stressed, alone. He looked up from a crate of organic arugula. "Dad, what are you doing here?" I held up my bag. "Carrots, radishes, same as you, shopping. I still eat, believe it or not." He managed a small smile. "I used to come here every Saturday, remember? You'd help me pick produce. You always bought me cookies anyway." What kind of father denies his kid cookies? I examined an heirloom tomato. "How's the restaurant?" His shoulders sagged. "Honestly, harder than expected. Money's tight. Suppliers want payment up front now. All my money went into the business, though, right? The full $500,000? Every penny. No hesitation. Complete conviction. Iris shows me the books monthly. Equipment costs ran over, licensing fees were higher, but it's all legitimate business expenses." I watched his face, looked for tells. 40 years filming liars. You learn to read them. Caleb was telling the truth, or thought he was. "Does Iris handle all the finances?" "She's better at it. I'm the cook. She's the business mind." "Why?" "Just curious, making sure my investment's being managed well." "It is, Dad. I promise." That promise broke my heart, because he believed it. Caleb looked like he'd aged 5 years in 2 weeks. Restaurant stress, marriage stress, father didn't come to my opening stress. Poor kid had no idea his wife was the source of most of it. Ignorance isn't bliss. It's just ignorance with a higher credit card bill. Wednesday, I sat at my kitchen table, Lucas's report open, proof of everything. I composed the letter carefully, printed it at FedEx office in Beaverton, wore gloves. To whom concern? I write to express concern about the financial stability of Field and Fork, Restaurant 2847 Division Street. Co-owner Iris Gardner has significant, undisclosed personal debts, $127,000, that may compromise the business's ability to maintain operations. Public records attached, as OLCC requires financial responsibility for liquor license holders. I believe this warrants investigation. A concerned citizen. I drove to a mailbox 20 minutes out of my way. Very spy movie, very ridiculous. 76 years old, and I'm doing tradecraft. Should have been a spy, or at least played one in a documentary. I called Noel after. "It's done. OLCC will get the letter Thursday. Inspector will probably show up Friday." "How do you know the timeline?" "Lucas has a contact there. Anonymous financial concern about a liquor license holder, 3-day turnaround max. And when the inspector shows up, they'll ask questions about funding sources, financial stability, co-owner credit history, all standard stuff, which will expose Iris's debts to Caleb, to the inspector, to anyone who asks the right questions." I watched rain hit my window. Portland spring, always raining. He'll find out finally. Are you ready for that conversation? Which one? The conversation where he learns his wife is a liar, or the one that he learns I'm the one who exposed her? Both. No, I admit it, but I'm doing it anyway. Friday morning, May 9th, 10:27 a.m. I parked across the street from Field and Fork. Camera with telephoto lens ready. White Ford sedan pulled up. Woman in her 40s. Business casual. Clipboard. OLCC badge on lanyard. She entered the restaurant. Through my lens, I watched. 10:32 a.m. Iris emerged from office, body language confident, welcoming, shook inspector's hand. They sat at a table near the window. 10:41 a.m. Inspector pulled out documents, slid them across the table. Iris's posture changed, stiffened, picked up papers. Her face went pale. Through the telephoto lens, I watched Iris's face when the inspector showed her the credit reports. Her expression went through 5 stages of grief in 10 seconds. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross would have been proud. Textbook, textbook. 10:46 a.m. Iris walked toward the kitchen. Inspector followed. Caleb appeared in doorway wiping hands on a towel, confusion on his face. 10:48 a.m. All 3 in kitchen, visible through service window. Caleb reading documents. His expression, confusion, shock, horror. Looked at Iris. She talked rapidly. He shook his head, backed away. 10:55 a.m. Inspector handed business card to Caleb, explained something. Iris looking desperate, Caleb looking destroyed. 10 a.m. Inspector left. Through window, I saw Iris and Caleb alone in kitchen, face to face. The argument began. I put down the camera, turned on the audio recorder. The long-range microphone picked up muffled shouting. It had started.
I drove home, sat in my kitchen, waited. My phone buzzed. Text message. Unknown number. Stop. Just that. 1 word. I typed back, "Who is this?" 3 dots. Then, "You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what this will cost. How did you get this number? That doesn't matter. What matters is you stop now before it's too late." Too late for what? For your son. A photo loaded slowly. Caleb sitting at a table in the restaurant kitchen. Empty restaurant, lights off except one fixture. His head in his hands, shoulders shaking, crying. Timestamp 7:43 p.m. 20 minutes ago. Another text. "This is what you've done. He just found out about the debts, about the money. Is this what you wanted?" I sat down hard. "Who are you?" I typed. "Someone who cares about him. Someone who's watching him fall apart because of what you started." She lied to him. She stole from both of us. I know, but he didn't, and now he's paying the price for her sins and your revenge. I looked at the photo again. My son destroyed. He needed to know the truth. I typed, "Did he, or did you need him to know?" I had no answer. "Stop," the text came again. "Stop before you lose him forever." "I can't stop what's already started." "Then you've made your choice. You'll regret it." The conversation ended. I sat in my kitchen holding my phone, looking at the photo of my crying son. My phone rang. Different unknown number. I answered, "Hello?" Breathing ragged, then, "Dad." Caleb's voice broken. "Caleb, are you okay?" "She lied to me," he was crying. "About everything. The inspector showed me. She has debts, so many debts, and she used your money to—" A sob cut him off. "I didn't know. Dad, I swear I didn't know." "I believe you." "Do you? Because right now I didn't even believe myself. How could I not see it?" I wanted to tell him, wanted to confess. I'm the one who sent the letter. I'm the reason the inspector came. But I didn't. "Where are you?" I asked. "The restaurant. Iris went home. I can't face her right now." "Come to my house." "I can't. I need to think." "Caleb, listen to me. I have to go." He hung up. I stood there, phone in hand, photo of my crying son on the screen. I'd gotten what I wanted, the truth exposed, but looking at that photo, I felt no satisfaction, only dread. Caleb didn't come to my house that night, didn't answer my calls. I sat up until 2 a.m., phone in hand, staring at that photo of him crying. Saturday morning, I drove past the restaurant. Closed. Sign in window. Private event today. Closed to public. No private event. Just a marriage imploding. That's when I remembered I'd installed that camera 3 days ago, testing surveillance equipment. I'd mounted a small wireless camera in the alley across from Field and Fork's kitchen for documentation. It transmitted to my laptop via encrypted Wi-Fi. I'd forgotten about it after the OLCC inspection.
Now I opened the feed and watched my son's marriage fall apart in real time. Saturday, 5:15 p.m. Through the open kitchen window, audio came through crystal clear. Caleb's voice loud, anguished. $127,000. Iris, it's not that simple. The inspector showed me everything. Credit cards maxed out, casino accounts. You told me those charges were business expenses. They were. The business needed. Nordstrom isn't a business expense. Royal Spin Casino isn't a business expense. Silence. Then Iris, quieter. You don't understand the pressure I'm under. Pressure? I work 16-hour days and you've been stealing from my father to fund your shopping and gambling. Don't you dare judge me. You think it's easy being married to you? I'm tired of competing with your father. This isn't about him. Everything is about him. He's controlled you your entire life. He chose not to come to our opening. That's a lie. It's not. I invited him. He said he was too busy. You're lying. Show me the text. Pause. Too long. Show me. Iris, I deleted them. You deleted the thread. Of course you did. I was protecting you. He smothers you. I freed you from him. Freed me? You isolated me. You turned me against my own father. For what? So you could steal his money? I have a problem, okay? But I was trying to protect you. By destroying everything I've built, by ruining my relationship with my father? Then maybe you should have been a better husband. Get out. What? Get out of my restaurant. It's our restaurant. Nothing is ours anymore. Get out before I say something I'll regret. Out! Sound of footsteps, door slamming, engine starting, then silence. Long, terrible silence. Then sobbing. My son alone, crying. Watching your son's marriage implode through a laptop screen while sitting in your kitchen eating leftover pasta is a special kind of hell. Very 21st century, very dystopian. I should make a documentary about it. Oh, wait. I already was. I closed the laptop, sat in darkness. My phone rang. 2:30 a.m. Caleb. Dad. His voice was wrecked. What's wrong? Everything. A shaky breath. I need to tell you something. About the opening. I already knew, but I let him talk. Iris told me you couldn't come. Said you had a conflict. I believed her. I thought... His voice broke. I thought you chose not to be there. I drove there. I brought champagne. Your wife told me it had already happened. I know. She lied to both of us. About everything. The debts? You know about those? I hesitated. The OLCC inspector mentioned financial concerns. She stole from you, Dad. $150,000. She told me it was business expenses, but it was her debts, her shopping, her gambling. I know. You know? How long have you known? Does it matter? Yes. Were you investigating us? Is that why you kept coming to the restaurant? Truth or lie? Partial truth. I wanted to understand where my money went. And you found out my wife is a liar and a thief? I found out your wife has problems. Serious problems? That's generous. I don't think I can stay married to her. That's a decision only you can make. She manipulated me for years, made me think you were controlling when really she was, turned me against you, and I let her. You didn't let her. She manipulated you. There's a difference. Is there? Because right now I feel like an idiot. You're not an idiot. You're a good man who trusted the wrong person. I want to make this right, Dad. I want to pay you back. We'll talk about that later. Right now, where are you? The restaurant. I'm sleeping here tonight. Come to my house. No, not yet. I need time. Silence. Phone connection humming. Dad? Yeah. I'm sorry for everything. For not checking with you, for believing her, for treating you like you didn't matter. You matter to me. Always have, always will. I don't deserve that. You're my son. Deserving doesn't enter into it. He cried quietly. I let him. Get some sleep, I said finally. We'll talk soon. Okay, Dad. I love you. I hadn't heard those words from him in years. I love you too, kid. Sunday, I called Noelle. Video call, showed her the footage. You recorded their fight? Horror in her eyes. I didn't mean to. The camera was already there. I'd forgotten about it. And you kept recording? Yes. Dad, that's private. That's their marriage falling apart. You can't use that. It's evidence. It proves Iris manipulated both of us. It shows a woman having the worst day of her life. You want to put that in a documentary?
I looked at the footage, paused on Caleb's face, twisted in anguish. I don't know what I want anymore. You wanted justice. Are you getting that? Or are you just enjoying watching them suffer? I'm not enjoying this. Aren't you? There's a moment where the camera stays on him, crying for 3 full minutes. You kept recording. Why? I don't know. I think you do. Monday. Certified mail arrived. Court summons in Gardner versus Elias Gardner. Civil suit for harassment and defamation. Hearing scheduled June 3rd. The lawsuit claimed I'd systematically harassed and defamed Iris, causing severe emotional distress. Severe emotional distress from the woman who stole $150,000 from me? The irony was so thick you could spread it on toast. Tuesday, I met Julian at his office. She's smart, he tapped the summons. Legally speaking, this is a good move. How is suing me a good move? She's flipping the narrative. You're no longer the wronged investor. You're the stalker ex-father-in-law. She's the victim. That's ridiculous, is it? You went to the restaurant 4 days in a row, took notes, used recording equipment, sent anonymous complaints to government agencies. I was investigating fraud, which you can't prove without admitting to surveillance that may have violated privacy laws. He leaned back. This is why I told you not to do this alone. What do I do? 2 options. 1, settle. Drop everything. 2, fight. But that means discovery. Her lawyers will dig into everything you've done. If any of it's legally questionable, you lose. Those are my options. Surrender or risk jail. Welcome to litigation. I told him about the footage, the fight, the hidden camera. His face went pale. You recorded them? Audio and video? Yes. Did they know it was there? No. Did they consent? It's an alley, public space. Was the microphone directional, pointed at their private conversation? I hesitated. Yes. Elias. He set down his coffee slowly. Oregon is a 2-party consent state. You can't record private conversations without consent. That recording is illegal, but it proves you committed a Class A misdemeanor. If that recording becomes known, you don't just lose the civil case, you face criminal charges. The room felt cold. What do I do with it? Delete it now. I can't. It's evidence. It's poison. If you try to use it, you lose. If they find out about it, you lose. But it shows the truth. The truth doesn't matter if obtaining it was illegal. I didn't delete it. I backed it up to 3 encrypted drives. I won't use it, I promise. I promise I won't use it in court. Julian's eyes narrowed. That's a very specific qualifier. It's the best I can offer. Tuesday evening, I was backing up the footage when my email chimed from truthhurts2025@proton.me. I opened it. Mr. Gardner, you've been busy. OLCC complaint? Very clever, but you made a mistake. Iris knows you're investigating her. How? Because I told her. Yes, I'm the one feeding her information. I'm the one who suggested she sue you. Why? Because you needed a villain. You needed Iris to overplay her hand. And she did. When she sued you, she opened herself to discovery. You can now legally compel her financial records. Everything I've been giving you, you can demand it officially. She thinks she's attacking you. Really, she's giving you exactly what you need. You're welcome. But here's what you need to know. The camera in the alley? Iris doesn't know about it yet, but she will because I'm going to tell her. Not to hurt you, to push her to make another mistake, to make her paranoid. It's a trap for her, but you're going to get caught in it too, unless you're smarter than I think you are. Your anonymous friend. I read it 3 times. The anonymous emailer wasn't helping me. They were playing chess, moving pieces, and I was one of them. My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello, Mr. Gardner. A voice I didn't recognize. Male, young, calm. I know you just read my email. Who is this? Someone who's been watching both of you. You and Iris playing your little game. It's fascinating. What do you want? I want what you want. Caleb free of Iris, but I also want something you don't want. What's that? I want Caleb free of you too. The words hit like a punch. What? You're as controlling as she is, just in different ways. She manipulates through lies, you manipulate through money and guilt. I'm his father. Exactly. You've spent years making him feel like he's not good enough. Iris amplified that, but you planted it. That's not true, isn't it? You gave him $500,000, but with strings, with expectations, with the demand that he prove himself worthy of the great Elias Gardner's investment. I opened my mouth, closed it. No words came. See, you can't even deny it. Who are you? Someone who loves Caleb more than either of you do. Someone who's going to make sure he ends up free, even if I have to burn down both of your lives to do it. You're insane. Maybe, but I'm winning. You're exactly where I want you. Iris is exactly where I want her, and soon Caleb will be exactly where he needs to be. If you hurt my son, I would never hurt him. That's what makes me different from you two. The line went dead. I sat there, phone in hand, staring at nothing. Who was this person? And why did their words hurt so much? Because deep down, a small part of me wondered, were they right? The anonymous caller's words echoed for days. You're as controlling as she is. I tried to dismiss it, tried to focus on the lawsuit, the evidence, the plan, but the words stuck. Wednesday morning, May 14th, I sat in my home office surrounded by equipment, cameras, hard drives, 40 years of documentary footage archived on shelves, always from a distance, always as an observer. This time it was personal. This time I was part of the story. I opened Final Cut Pro. Create new project. Field of deceit. A family betrayal. Target length, 30 minutes. Time to make the documentary that would end this. 5 days, 12-hour sessions, editing, re-editing, perfecting. Hour 48 of editing. I'd watch the hidden camera fight footage maybe 50 times. Each viewing, new details, new moments of devastation. I was becoming an expert in my own son's marital collapse. There was probably a support group for that. Not exactly a hobby to put on a dating profile. Monday morning, May 19th. I called Caleb. I need you to come to my house today, this afternoon. I don't think that's a good idea. It's not optional. 2 p.m., be here. What is this about? You'll see when you arrive. If you want any chance of us moving forward, you'll be here. Silence. Then, okay, 2 p.m. Caleb stood in my living room looking at the television screen, black, waiting. What is this? He asked. Sit down, son. Sit. He sat. I took the chair across from him. Coffee table between us like a canyon. I made something I need you to see before anyone else does. You can't pause it, you can't leave. You watch the whole thing, then we talk. You're scaring me. Good. I pressed play. Field of Deceit, a family betrayal, a documentary by Elias Gardner. Caleb's breath caught. Oh God. Watch. For 30 minutes, neither of us moved. The credits rolled, black screen, silence. Caleb was crying, had been since minute 5. Dad, he whispered, I didn't know she... Watch it again. I rewound. There's a section at minute 18, the timeline. I fast-forwarded. August 15th, 2024. Field and Fork LLC registered. August 23rd, 2024. Caleb requests $500,000 investment. On screen, my narration, 8 days. This wasn't spontaneous. This was planned. Caleb stared at the dates. I can explain. Can you? Because I'd love to hear how you register a company, exclude your father, then come asking for $500,000 with promises of partnership. He couldn't look at me. It wasn't like that. What was it like? We were going to include you after. We just wanted to get the structure set up first. Liar. The word hung sharp. Final. You registered the LLC with just you and Iris. You could have put my name on it. You didn't, because you never intended to make me a partner. That's not true.
Then why isn't my name on the LLC? Why did 8 months go by without giving me any legal standing? No answer. You betrayed me, I said. Not just Iris. You. From the beginning. Dad, please. Get out of my house. Don't do this. Get out before I show this documentary to everyone you know. He stood, walked to the door, turned. I'll make this right. I'll sell the restaurant. I'll pay you back every dollar. You can't make this right. There is no amount of money that gives me back my son. He left. Door closed. I sat alone, documentary frozen on screen, wondering what I'd just done. Wednesday, May 21st, Julian called. I found something, he said. No preamble. Something bad. My stomach dropped. The recording? No. The LLC, Elias. They registered Field and Fork on August 15. I know. That's in my evidence. Your son came to you August 23rd. Right. He showed me the business plan. I stopped. Understood. 8 days later. 8 days after they had already formed the company without you. It wasn't spontaneous. It wasn't Iris manipulating Caleb later. It was planned from the beginning. I sat down, room tilted. Caleb knew, I said, flat, empty. Caleb knew. I printed the documents, drove to the restaurant, walked into kitchen, and handed them to Caleb without speaking. LLC registration dated August 15, 2024. My bank check dated August 23, 2024. His face went white. 8 days, I said. You registered the company 8 days before asking me for money. Dad, let me explain. Did you know when you came to my house? When you sat at my kitchen table and promised partnership? When you hugged me? Did you know your name was already on the LLC and mine wasn't? His mouth opened, closed. Did you know? It was just, we were going to add you later. Answer the question. Yes, barely a whisper. I knew. Something broke inside my chest. Final, irreparable. You knew from the beginning. You betrayed me too. It wasn't like that. Don't blame her. This was before she spent the money, before she gambled. This was the foundational lie, and you told it. I'm sorry. No, you're caught. There's a difference. I walked toward the door, stopped, turned. I'm showing the documentary publicly. Film festival, Hollywood theater. Everyone in Portland's food scene will see it. Dad, please don't do this. You had 8 days to tell me the truth. You had 8 months to give me paperwork. This is the consequence. I left him behind me crying. I didn't look back. Thursday. Private screening for film friends. 6 people. Noelle on laptop. The documentary ended. Silence. Then Lucas Chen, editor. Holy shit, Elias, you've made something really powerful here. The fight footage is controversial, but it's also the emotional climax. Noelle's voice from laptop. Should he include it, though? Documentary isn't about protecting people's feelings. It's about truth. After others left, Noelle's still on video. Dad, are you really going to do this? Yes. Caleb made his choice when he registered that LLC without you. When he took your money with promises he never intended to keep, those were his actions. This is the consequence. That's cold. You taught me that. You used to say actions have consequences. That's not punishment, that's math. I was talking about Halloween candy, not destroying your brother's life. Same principle. Friday morning, I created the Facebook event. Field of Deceit, A Family Betrayal. Documentary premiere Hollywood Theater, Sunday, June 8th, 7 p.m., free admission. Within hours, 500+ RSVPs. My son had just watched a 30-minute documentary about how he betrayed me. Narrated by me, edited by me. This was not standard father-son bonding. Dr. Phil wouldn't know where to start. Friday evening, email from Caleb. Dad, please don't show the documentary publicly. I know what I did. The LLC registration, you're right. I knew it was stupid, wrong. The first lie that led to all the others. But if you show this publicly, you destroy any chance I have of starting over. No one in Portland will work with me. I'm offering everything. Sell the restaurant, repay every dollar, sign legal documents acknowledging what I did, publicly apologize, cut off contact with Iris. Do whatever you ask. Just please don't show that film. I love you. I'm sorry. Caleb. I read it 3 times. Phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello, Mr. Gardner. That voice. The anonymous caller. I see you're proceeding with the public screening. Did you think I was helping you? No. I was orchestrating this, all of it. From the first email about Iris's debts, to pushing you toward the OLCC complaint, to manipulating her into suing you. I've been playing both sides. Why? Because Caleb needs to lose everything before he can become who he's supposed to be. The restaurant, the marriage, you, all of it has to burn, and you're going to light the match. I'm not. You already did. The screening is in 2 weeks. 500 people will watch. By the end of that night, Caleb Gardner will be unemployable in Portland. You're insane! I'm right, and you know it. That's why you're still going through with it. I couldn't speak. See you at the screening, Mr. Gardner. Front row. The line went dead. I sat there. Email from Caleb on screen, documentary ready, 2 weeks until public screening, and no idea who I was really working for. I didn't respond to Caleb's email, didn't call him back, didn't cancel the screening. The 2 weeks between announcement and screening were a slow-motion car crash. Monday, May 27th, Caleb listed Field & Fork for sale. Initial price, $400,000. By Friday, $350,000. No offers. Week 2, $280,000. One lowball offer fell through. Week 3, $180,000. Desperation pricing. Still no buyers. Portland's food scene was already gossiping. The documentary announcement had made the business toxic. Tuesday, June 3rd, emergency court hearing. Iris's lawyer argued the documentary violated privacy rights. Judge seemed sympathetic. I'm deeply troubled by the footage of the marital dispute. Iris and her lawyer exchanged looks. They thought they were winning. Judge continued. However, Mr. Gardner's counsel is correct that documentary filmmakers have substantial First Amendment protections. Motion denied, the screening may proceed. Outside courthouse, Iris found me. We need to leave Portland tonight. I overheard Caleb. Where would we go? Anywhere. Seattle, San Francisco. The documentary will be online. It'll follow us. Then we change our names together. You think I'm staying with you after all this? Friday, June 6th, 4 p.m., Iris at my front door. I saw her through peephole, didn't open it. Elias, I know you're there. I opened the door, kept the screen locked. What do you want? She looked terrible. Unwashed hair, dark circles. Elias, I want to propose something. I'll drop the harassment lawsuit. Caleb will drop the divorce. Clean slate. You cancel the screening tomorrow. I stared. You're serious. For the sake of peace, there is no peace, just consequences you don't want to face. You're destroying your son. He destroyed himself. I'm just documenting it. She started crying. Real tears. Actual despair. Please, I'm begging. I'll sign over my half of the restaurant. I'll leave Portland. Just don't show that film. You had 8 months to disappear. Now you face the consequence. You're going to lose Caleb forever.
I already lost him 8 days before he came asking for money. I closed the door, locked it, heard her crying on the porch for 10 minutes. My neighbor walking her dog gave me a look. I didn't care anymore. Saturday, 11:47 p.m., Caleb's voicemail. Dad, it's me. I know you're not answering, but I need to say this. I messed up, not just with the money or the LLC. I messed up by not being honest from the start. I know tomorrow's going to be bad. I know people will judge me. I deserve that. But you're right about all of it. The LLC registration, the lies, the betrayal. You're right, and I was wrong, and I'm sorry. I don't expect forgiveness. I just needed you to hear me say it.
I'll be in the front row tomorrow because I owe you that much. Goodbye, Dad. I listened 3 times, saved it, didn't call back. Tomorrow, the documentary would say everything. Sunday, June 8th, 7 p.m., Hollywood Theater, 230 people, overflow crowd, Portland food critics, restaurant owners, chefs, random community members, local blogger live tweeting, and front setter, Caleb and Iris. I'd insisted, told them if they didn't attend, I'd release unedited footage online. I stood at front. Thank you for coming. This is a personal documentary about betrayal, manipulation, and family. I sat in back row, watched the audience watch my life fall apart. The documentary played. My narration, the financial breakdown, Lucas's investigation. $127,000 in debts. Audience, angry murmurs, head shaking. Then the fight footage. Caleb discovering truth, Iris's admission, their marriage shattering. Complete silence. Some people crying. I glanced toward front. Caleb and Iris's silhouettes. Frozen, trapped. The LLC revelation. August 15th registration, August 23rd money request. Audience, that's fraud, someone said loudly. Final section, my reflection on betrayal. Image of unopened champagne bottle, screen faded black. Silence for 3 beats, then applause. Starting scattered, building within seconds to a standing ovation. They were applauding for me, for my documentary about my broken family. This was my vindication. It felt like attending my own funeral. Everyone saying nice things. Very touching. I was still dead inside. Q&A session. Woman, how are you coping? Me. 1 day at a time. Lie. I wasn't in therapy. Should be. Man, did your son know about the gambling? Me. Not initially, he discovered it when the inspector revealed it. Food critic. What happens to Field and Fork now? Me. That's my son's decision. I'm no longer involved. Another woman. Are you and your son speaking? Pause. No, we're not. Sympathetic sounds. Young man. Is your son here? Is he watching this? I looked toward front center, saw Caleb's silhouette. Yes, he's here. Audience turned, stared at him. 230 people staring at him. Moderator quickly, next question, but damage done. Everyone knew. A man asked, did you consider mediation? I smiled. No, I considered making the documentary and showing it to everyone my son knew professionally. That's basically extreme mediation. Nervous laughter. Screening ended, people leaving, shaking my hand, saying powerful and brave. I felt numb. I found him in men's bathroom, sitting on the floor in a corner stall. Caleb. He looked up, face red, eyes swollen, destroyed. Everyone knows now. Everyone saw me. I know. I can't work in Portland anymore. They all watched me betray my father. I'm done. Caleb, you got what you wanted. You destroyed me publicly, professionally. Congratulations, you won. He stood, pushed past me, walked out. I didn't stop him. Outside parking lot, Iris found me. You won, she said. Quiet, broken. Are you happy? I looked at her, this woman who'd stolen from me. She looked hollow, empty. No, I said honestly. I'm not happy. Then why did you do it? Because you needed to face consequences. You needed revenge, and you got it. 200 people watched us fall apart. You destroyed my life. You destroyed your own life. I just filmed it. Same result. She looked at Caleb in the car. You destroyed him too. He'll never recover from this, never work in Portland again. You took your son and you broke him publicly, professionally, permanently. He broke himself. No, he made mistakes. I made worse ones. But you You monetized mistakes. You turned family pain into public entertainment. You stood in front of 200 strangers and showed footage of your son crying. Truth doesn't make it right. I had no answer. She walked back, got in the car. They drove away. I stood in parking lot alone, surrounded by the wreckage of my revenge. I drove home, sat in my car and driveway, engine off. Hour passed. I'd won public vindication, standing ovation. Iris was ruined, Caleb was ruined. I'd gotten exactly what I wanted, and I felt nothing, just hollow. Phone buzzed. Unknown number. Impressive show. You did exactly what I hoped. Destroyed Caleb completely. Now he's free of everyone, including you. Thank you for your service. I stared at the message. I'd been played from the beginning. I texted back. Who are you? 3 dots. You'll find out soon. Tonight, actually. I'm outside your house. I looked up across the street. Figure standing under streetlight, backlit. The figure waved. I got out, started walking toward them. As I got closer, the figure stepped into the light. I stopped dead. Hello, Mr. Gardner, they said. I think it's time we'd talked face to face. I recognized the voice from the phone calls, but the face was someone I knew, someone who'd been there from the beginning. You, I whispered. They smiled. Me. The figure under the streetlight stepped into view. I stopped walking. Kira, the waitress from Field and Fork. 20-something, tired eyes, the one who'd reported my surveillance to Iris. You, I said. You've been the anonymous source all along. She nodded. Yes, from the first email about Iris's deaths to the phone calls, everything. Why? Because Caleb needed to lose everything before he could start over. The restaurant was draining him, Iris was destroying him, and you, a pause, you were smothering him with expectations he could never meet. So you manipulated us both. I gave you information. What you did with it was your choice. I didn't force you to make that documentary. You did that. You wanted this outcome. I wanted Caleb free from Iris's lies, from your control. Sometimes freedom requires burning everything down first. She walked away, left me standing there. She was right. I hated that she was right. We talked for an hour, standing in my driveway, then sitting in my living room. By the end, I understood. I'd been a weapon aimed at my son's life, and I'd fired willingly. When she left, I sat alone with that knowledge. Tuesday evening, my phone rang. Caleb? Dad? His voice was rough, broken. Are you happy now? Caleb. I'm living in my car, sleeping in a Walmart parking lot. I haven't showered in 3 days. I applied to 8 restaurants this week. You know what they all said? I couldn't speak. They said, we saw the documentary. They said, we can't hire someone who betrayed his own father. One guy laughed at me, said, how's it feel to be famous? I didn't mean for, yes, you did. You showed that film to 200 people. You put it online. You made sure everyone in Portland knew what I did. You meant for this to happen. You betrayed me. I know. I've known for months. I tried to fix it. But you didn't want repayment. You wanted punishment, public humiliation. You wanted me destroyed. Silence. Long. Heavy. You got your revenge, Caleb said quietly. You destroyed Iris. You destroyed our restaurant. You destroyed my reputation. Congratulations. You won. But you're my son. And you didn't just punish me. You killed any chance we had of being family again. Caleb, please. The line went dead. I sat there holding the phone, dial tone humming, wondering what I'd become. I drove past the Walmart on 82nd Avenue Thursday night. Saw his car. That old Honda Civic parked in the far corner. I almost went over, almost knocked on the window.
but I just sat there watching, like I was filming a documentary. At 11 p.m., he got out, stretched, walked to the 24-hour bathroom.
He called me too, crying, said you destroyed his life. He betrayed me, Noel. The LLC registration, the lies. I know, and he was wrong. But when he begged you not to show the documentary, what did you do? I showed it anyway. When he offered to sell everything and repay you, I said it wasn't enough. Did you forgive him? Silence. Did you? She pressed. No. Why not? Because he hurt me. Because I needed him to understand. You needed him to suffer. You needed revenge. And you got it. But now what? You won. He's homeless. His career's over. Are you happy? I couldn't answer. Revenge isn't the same as justice, Dad. Justice would have been get your money back, get an apology, set boundaries. What you did was revenge. And revenge doesn't heal anything. He betrayed me first, and you betrayed him back. Worse, you're even now. Is that what you wanted? I don't know what I wanted. Then figure it out before you lose him permanently. She hung up. Friday, package arrived. Manila envelope from Iris. 4 handwritten pages. Neat cursive. Dear Elias, I don't expect forgiveness, but I need to explain. I grew up poor. Really poor. When my mother got cancer, the medical debt buried us. I was 19. The debt was $87,000. When I met Caleb, I saw a way out. Not just money, love. Someone who believed in me. But the debt never went away. It grew. I was drowning, too ashamed to tell Caleb. After the miscarriage 3 years ago, we were 12 weeks along, gonna be a girl. I fell apart. The gambling started as distraction, became addiction. When you gave us $500,000, I saw a chance. Pay off debts, start clean. But addiction doesn't work that way. I lied, I manipulated, I pushed you away because I was jealous of how much you respected you. I'm not making excuses. I did terrible things. But I'm not a monster. I'm a broken person who made terrible choices. I'm in therapy now, Gamblers Anonymous. The enclosed check is the first installment. I'll send more every month until the debt is cleared. Please don't let your hatred for me destroy your relationship with Caleb. He loves you. I'm sorry. Inside, $2,500 check. I read it 3 times, cried on the 4th. She wasn't a villain. She was a person. Flawed, suffering, human. And I'd treated her like a character in a documentary, a subject to expose, not a person to understand. I looked in the mirror, saw myself. 76 years old, successful career, beautiful house, awards, and no son. I said, "You destroyed him," out loud to my reflection. You showed 200 people his worst moment. You made him unemployable. For what? Money you didn't need? Pride. My reflection didn't answer. You won, and you lost everything that mattered. I turned away. Couldn't look at myself anymore. I called Julian, 11 p.m. Elias, everything okay? No, nothing is okay. I need you to withdraw all the lawsuits. What? Why would you? Because I destroyed my son's life and I need to fix it before it's too late. Silence. Then what do you need me to do? Help me figure out how to give Caleb a second chance. Not money, not pity, a real chance to rebuild. That's not really my area. You're a smart guy. Figure it out. I need business structures, something that helps him without enabling, something that says, I forgive you. But there are conditions. Conditional forgiveness? That's actually possible. Think fast. I don't know how much longer before I lose him permanently. Elias, you're doing the right thing. No, I'm trying to undo the wrong thing. There's a difference. August 2025. 2 months since the phone call. 10 weeks since the documentary. It took that long. Dozens of calls,
hundreds of texts, voicemails unanswered, emails ignored. Finally, Caleb agreed to meet, one conversation. Laurelhurst Park, Northeast Portland, Saturday morning. The bench where I taught him to ride a bike at 6. I arrived early, sat, waited. At 10 a.m., he came, walked up from parking lot, looked different. Thinner, hair longer, worn, but clean, like he'd made an effort. He sat on the opposite end. 3 feet between us. Might as well have been 3 miles. For a minute, neither spoke. Just sat. Watched kids on playground, dogs barking, Portland summer sounds. Finally, I broke silence. I was wrong. About what? Not about being angry, not about feeling betrayed. Those feelings were valid. You did betray me. I paused. But I was wrong about how I responded. The documentary, the public screening, showing that footage to 200 strangers, making you unemployable, that wasn't justice. That was cruelty. And I'm sorry. Silence. Caleb's eyes filled with tears. As your father, my job was to teach you accountability. I did that, but I went too far. I prioritized revenge over relationship, pride over family. That was wrong, and I'm sorry. He wiped his eyes, looked away, looked back. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. I just needed you to hear it. You hurt me, but I hurt you worse, and I'm sorry. Dad, let me finish. I watched old videos. You at 8, 15, 25. I watched you grow up. Saw the moments I was proud, and I realized I took that person and I destroyed him publicly because I was hurt. That's unforgivable, but I'm asking you to forgive me anyway. He broke down, sobbing, full body sobs. I moved closer, put my arm around him. He leaned into me. Father and son broken together. When he could speak, he pulled back. Iris manipulated me, but I let her. I could have questioned things, could have insisted on paperwork, but I didn't, because part of me wanted to prove I didn't need you. Stupid pride. And it cost us everything. We both made choices, but yours were worse. I lied about money. You destroyed my life. We're not equal here. No, we're not. That's why I'm apologizing first. What do you want from me? I want to be your father again. Not your creditor, not your judge, just your father, if you'll let me. I pulled a folder from my bag, handed it to him. What is this? Open it. He did. Read, eyes widened. You bought me a food cart space? Alberta Street? Good location. 18-month lease, equipment included. 6-month operating capital. But there are conditions. What conditions? Therapy weekly for 6 months minimum. Financial counseling and transparency. You show me your books monthly, not because I don't trust you, because trust needs to be rebuilt with evidence. Why? After everything? Because I remember you at 8 years old, making scrambled eggs, burning the bacon, serving it anyway with that huge smile. I said it was perfect because you made it, and that made it perfect. I touched his shoulder. People make mistakes. Bad ones. You did. I did. The question isn't whether we made mistakes. It's what we do after. I'm choosing to try. Are you? He nodded. Couldn't speak. Just nodded. I don't deserve this, he whispered finally. You're right. You don't. Desert and deserve don't matter. What matters is, what do we do now? Keep punishing each other or try something different? What if I fail? Then you fail and we deal with it together like family should. Deal? Deal. We shook hands, then hugged. Really hugged. It felt like coming home. October. Email from Iris. Dear Elias, I heard about Second Harvest. I'm glad Caleb has a second chance. I'm in therapy. 4 months clean from gambling. Working at a nonprofit, helping people like me. sending monthly payments to repay what I stole. Thank you for giving him another chance. Iris, I replied, I accept your apology, not because what you did is okay, but because I understand now you're a person, not a villain. Keep going to therapy. Keep helping others. That's redemption. One condition. Stay away from Caleb. He needs space. Good luck. December. Christmas morning. Second harvest food cart. Noelle's kids ran around. She video called her husband in Vancouver. They're coming, one kid yelled. I looked up. Caleb locking his bike, another beside him. 2 bikes for you, he said, presenting one. Vintage Schwinn Cruiser restored. Thought we could ride to farmer's market like old times. This is too much. You gave me a second chance, a business, a future. I'm giving you a bike. Noelle called. Stop arguing. It's Christmas. Ride the damn bikes.